Visit us on the web at www.coolwavepictures.com/radio.
Wavelength Radio presents Happy Hour with Cameron Cooper.
Come together right now over me.
Hey, this is Cameron Cooper with Happy Hour. Thanks for being here. Today is Wednesday, October 20th, 2010. Great to be here. Great to be back from my extended vacation, I guess. Had a great camping trip.
Yay!
It was so fun, Melissa, let me tell you.
Did you listen to country music the whole time?
Oh, George Strait.
Fuck.
Lots of George Strait. And I know Melissa loves country so much.
I'm so glad I wasn't there.
It was fantastic. Lots of George Strait sitting around the campfire and drinking some Bud Lights and telling ghost stories. The kids were roasting marshmallows, and it was such a good time jumping off the pier at the dock down at the marina and fishing, and I got a real workout and a sunburn and ate good food, homemade from scratch, nothing in a box, nothing in a can. When you're camping, let me tell you, everything tastes fabulous.
Amazing.
And your appetite is accelerated too.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think that has something to do with maybe the drinking too, but
Well, that's possible. That's very possible.
well, no, it's a relaxation too. I think when you're comfortable and you're relaxed, you're having a good time, you want to eat, want to gorge.
Now, the camping trip was part of my transformation. Going back a little bit about transformation, this was my own part and parcel addition to my transformation of not just diet and exercise and stuff like that, but just de-stressing, because I really hadn't had a vacation in probably a couple years since I went back to my family in Indianapolis on a Christmas break, and that was a lot of fun, but it wasn't as relaxing as like a camping trip, because you're lots of activities and visiting and things like that, which are all fun and stuff, but not relaxing like camping. So it's a different kind of fun.
Unfortunately, I always kind of say that family, though they're wonderful and we want to visit them, is not the true definition of a vacation.
This is true. Yeah, vacation is like camping, going to the lake and stuff like that, and getting out of town. And I really needed the de-stress, and it worked. I came back feeling transformed and de-stressed.
You have a skip in your step. You do. I can tell. There's a big difference.
A little bit of a smile on my face, huh?
Not more than a little bit, Cameron.
Oh, wow.
I would call that a shit-eating grin.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I'm glad it shows.
Yeah.
It worked then. I really do feel relaxed and rested, and I plan on doing it often. Of course, I think camping season over now until probably spring, so we'll go again. But, guys, back to Happy Hour here. We welcome you. We're going to have some interesting topics tonight. We're going to talk about relationships, right, Melissa?
We are. Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof. But we are going to be talking about that content. And open up the phone lines. And I know we have some callers that are going to be calling in and giving us their viewpoints and stories and things like that. Welcome those calls. Robin, good show. And tonight on the Brian McKenzie Show, we're going to have Cody Everett's going to be filling in. Brian will be out. And after that, following the McKenzie Show, is going to be Roundtable. And are you going to be here tonight for Roundtable, Melissa?
I don't know. Was I invited?
Yes, you are.
Oh, well, I think I might stay then.
Fantastico. Guys, I want to mention a couple things here in the news. Of course, we last week I was gone camping, and we also reran the September 1st broadcast of the interview with Solomon Burke, who unfortunately passed away October 10th, Sunday. And that was unfortunate. That was a new friend of mine, and a very dear, kind person, and a great supporter of all kinds of wonderful things.
Kind of spooky. I was very sad because I knew how much he meant to you, but it was like the morning of my birthday that he passed, and I thought, I was making a big deal out of the 10-10-10 deal and kind of making a joke about it, like it was a lottery thing, but But it kind of weirded me out because I was thinking of all positive, and then here I got your email, and I thought, wow, it just kind of gave me chills for a minute. I don't know.
Yeah, well, sorry to drop that bomb, but...
No, it's totally fine. I'm just saying that 10, 10, 10, it was like that bum, 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 you know?
Yeah, and happy birthday also, by the way.
Thank you.
On a pause note, Solomon, God bless you. I know you're up there listening. You would want us to stay positive, and of course, and deliver your messages as your music does, and all your life's paths have. And your wake, Solomon's wake, is tomorrow, Thursday, and followed by his funeral on Friday. And Candy, his daughter, sent me an email a couple days ago and invited me. And unfortunately, we don't have the financing to make that happen. But that would have been nice to go. And it was nice to get the invitation. I don't know if Candy's listening. I'm sure they're preoccupied right now with arrangements. But God bless you and your family. And we'll be tuning in. And I don't have the information right now. I left my flyer at home. I printed out the information. But if you go to the King Solomon website, or maybe it's thekingSolomonBurke.com, it's his official website. If you link into that, they will be streaming the proceedings. Look at the website. I don't know if they're going to be doing the funeral and the wake, or just the funeral. I'm not really sure, but they'll be streaming it live. And I believe Phoenix time it should be around 10 o'clock. Other locations, just find your time clock on that. So we did rerun that broadcast, and in honor of Solomon.
Rest in peace, Solomon.
Yes, Solomon. And thank you for all of your wonderful messages and songs. And also in the news, unfortunately, another thing I want to mention is we have a fallen officer, a sergeant that was killed in the line of duty here late Monday night. He was patrolling on duty around the state capitol, downtown Phoenix, and they don't have any leads, I don't think, right now, but he was shot and killed. So prayers out to him and his family, and that's always sad. They're there to protect us, and he was doing his job, and that's the price that he paid. Also, too, I want to mention a couple personal hellos to George Urias. He was on our show with the TPO. He actually was on the same Solomon Burke rerun, TPO Trailer Park Orchestra. He's the drummer for that band. He's in recovery. I think he maybe had to go into the hospital, and he was hopefully doing better. I haven't had an update on him. And also Mike Herrera, buddy of mine, if you're listening, I understand you're getting better. He had knee surgery and soon to be back. And both of those gentlemen are in my movie CSI Phoenix. However, my brother said we might call that CSI 602. We're not sure on the title yet, but we're still in filming. Maybe start filming early November to finish up that.
What's the significance of 602? What's that?
Well, 602 is the representative of Phoenix.
Oh, just because of the area code?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have a lot of like T-shirts and hats, and I think some even gangs say they're 602 and stuff like that. But it represents Phoenix. So I thought maybe to be even a little bit more unique, maybe CSI 602 instead of CSI Phoenix, but not really sure. Tossing it around. My brother likes it better, and also though they play, of course, CSI detectives, and well, not Mike. Mike Herrera actually is he's a thug. He's a drug cartel guy, and but George Urias actually is a CSI detective, and of course I am the CSI Lieutenant Max Cutter. And I head up the CSI team here in Phoenix, and we're filming that movie and hope to get that done and edited, and hopefully in time for everybody to look at for Christmas. And I actually had talks with my co-host here, Melissa. She might be joining us as a CSI agent. Is that true?
That's true. I'm not wearing any Daisy Dukes, but I will be making a guest appearance.
Oh, darn it. Darn it. Well, we'll have to get by. That's fine.
Yeah.
But that badge would look awfully cute on some daisies.
I was going to say, I want a cute little CSI outfit, something like that, but yeah.
We'll make that happen.
Okay, all right.
So look forward to that, guys. I'll give some more updates on that. We haven't really talked about it too much, but yeah, CSI Phoenix is a movie in production, and hope to get that out to you guys by Christmas. Now, I also want to give a plug here for local Express Junk. Now, they can haul away anything you got. If you got some landscaping debris, you've got a house clean out, a foreclosure, anything you need moved away.
Husband, you know.
A husband, I don't know if they do husbands.
Well, that's, I mean, if it's,
I guess if the price was right.
I'm just saying, if they get thrown out to the curb, I mean, isn't that, well, anyway.
I don't know. Well, give them a call and ask them. You can contact Express Junk at 623-217-2115. Express Junk. And you can go to their website at www.x, as in the letter X, press, P-R-E-S-S, junk, expressjunk.com. They do have a particular geographics that they work within around the Sun City, Glendale, Peoria area of the valley here in Arizona. Give them a call. They're safe, reliable, bonded, and they will do a great job, and they're fantastic people. Kevin and Kathy Banzel, that is their company. Great people. Love you guys. God bless you. I think they're listening tonight. And also, I want to give a little plug here, Melissa. I know you love country so much, so I printed this out. Now, just to get your country going, because I know that you're a little bit amateurish on this.
You know, I think I'm just going to take a bathroom break, and I'll be right back. No, I'm kidding.
But what you need, this is the first startup kit for what you need to become country, okay? You need some Justin boots.
Okay.
And I've actually picked out a particular style that I think will look really hot on you.
Oh, boy.
Okay, they're called the Bay Apache.
Okay.
They have a nice sort of roughed leather look.
Are they?
Not suede, but roughed leather.
Okay.
You
All
see
right.
the picture there?
Yeah. So they're a little beat up, maybe.
Well, they're just they're not like that fancy, slick kind look.
right.
They look a little bit more worn leather look.
Right. Okay.
You know, like a suede, but they're not suede.
Now, I didn't say I couldn't pull off the country look. I just said I won't listen to the music.
Okay. So that's that. The Justin boots. Okay, that's the first thing you need in your kit. Okay.
Those would go good with my Daisy Dukes.
Yes, they would.
Yes.
Hallelujah! Now, the next thing you need, Melissa, is a hat.
Okay.
Now,
I do like cowboy hats. By the way.
okay. Well, I picked one out, and I don't know if they make the lady style, but it's the George Strait hat.
Okay.
And they probably have a ladies version, but they're fantastic. And I think you can get one for right around $70.
That's not too bad.
Straw.
Yeah.
You know. Now, the next thing you need, and I think you've already got this taken care of, is you need a truck.
Right.
You need to pick them up.
You need something made of steel. Yeah.
Yeah. And this, I printed this one out. This is a 1973 Ford F-250 truck XL. It's only got 47,000 miles on it.
Wow.
Now, we don't know a price on this, but you can contact Sullivan Motor Company on West Broadway in Mesa, Arizona, and it's got a camper shell on it, or a small shell on it. It's not a camper shell, but it's in supreme condition.
It does look pretty mint.
And I only have one picture here, but when I printed this out, I think it printed about 75 pages of pictures
Wow.
because it was so beautiful.
Yeah, it is pretty beautiful.
I think they licked the battery cables or something.
It's
It was-
obviously it's either been babied or restored or both.
Yeah. So that's sweet. So anyway, that's your starter kit, and she's already got the truck. What kind of truck you got, Melissa?
I have a 1984 Ford F-150.
Woo! Hallelujah! My boots are kicking right now, folks.
I even know how to jump start it and hot wire it and all that good stuff.
I
so.
bet you know how to jumpstart. Okay. I didn't mean that, folks. This is a clean show. We keep it PG rated, don't we?
Right.
We were G rated, but I think we've changed to PG.
Well, rated R is 17 and above, so we could be rated R.
Can we do R?
Yeah,
Okay.
we could do R.
Oh, in the studio, folks, that just walked in is Mr. Cody Everett.
Hey.
Give a shout.
Hi, Cody.
Hello.
Peace and love to you, bro. Now,
Namaste.
guys, I'm going to attempt to tell you guys a good joke.
Uh-oh.
Okay?
Uh-oh. I'm scared.
Now,
It's not about Charles, is it?
no.
Okay.
Do I have time, producer, for a joke?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, now, there's this husband that...
No.
No? No, we don't. Okay, we're going to have to go to a break, and if I can have time for the joke later, we'll interject that. But it's a funny joke. sent to a good friend of mine, Mr. Bart De Lorenzo, and his wife, Carol. Hello out to you guys. Funny joke. It's a Chicago joke. Bart is a Chicago transplant out here in the valley. Transsexual? He's not a transsexual. He's a transplant. All right, guys. You're listening to Happy Hour. Give us a call anytime. We'll be coming up with our topic of the relationship views. And give us a call, 877-837-8. Let me start over, guys. 877-835-1937. We'll be back with you in a minute.
You're listening to Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures.
Visit us on the web at www.coolwavepictures.com/radio.
Wavelength Radio presents Happy Hour with Cameron Cooper.
Come together right now over me.
Oh my goodness, we're back. It's stressful being a radio host, let me tell you. Isn't it, Melissa?
It's very stressful. I'm super stressed out right now.
Oh my Lord.
I need
I'm
another
telling you.
beer.
I gotta tell you.
Somebody get me a beer.
Can somebody get my co-host Melissa a beer? She needs to de-stress. Crying out loud.
They're in the freezer.
Melissa, are we allowed to plug something? What are you drinking tonight?
What am I smoking? You mean? I mean, I'm sorry. What am I drinking?
Hello? You're not in California.
Hey, I have a P.O. box, sir.
There you go. That makes it work, right?
Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about a little bit of a controversial subject, but it's something that I had some personal experience with all my life, and especially this week. And I'd like to address it and get some opinions, and I've got some callers, some people that have opinions already. They're going to be calling in, but I want to talk about the impossibility of platonic relationships between men and women. And I want to
Did
talk
you say
about
impossibility?
That's right. That's what I said.
Of
Cam.
platonic.
Impossibility, yes.
The impossibility of it.
Yeah, and
Well, we're
unfortunate.
platonic, aren't we?
Well, yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, we're platonic, but there's always going to be that.
You mean you're going to take me to HR?
More like you were going to kidnap me and put me in the back of your car. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, you remember what happened when we met? We already told this story. We met at a bar, and then you put me in the trunk, and the next thing I knew, I was here,
okay.
and then. Right, but
yeah,
but that's platonic.
The duct tape story.
Right, the duct tape story. Exactly. Duct tape should not be involved in platonic.
And I still have that with me.
See, case in point. Case in point. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, no, seriously, the impossibility of platonic relationships, and I'm going to be talking about it from a woman's perspective, but I don't want that to be the only perspective we get, and that's why we've got some male callers calling in, and I want to get their feedback as well. So
You're going to have my perspective also.
absolutely, absolutely.
You know, I passed.
You're not really a male though. You're Cameron.
Oh!
But you're in a class all by yourself, Cameron. I don't mean
Producer,
that the wrong way
what
here.
floor of the studio is HR on?
Sexual
Third
harassment.
floor.
No.
I have a suit going on here.
Oh, I'm sorry,
I'm
Cameron.
a eunuch.
I love you, Cameron. I do.
I'm a eunuch. Is that what I am?
Well, here's the thing. I admit that I get disgusted with most men, and so I'm not yet disgusted with you, which must mean in my world you must not be on that same level. But anyway.
Well, no.
And that's my other point.
I think you just gave me a compliment.
That's my other point is whenever you don't want to, be on that level with men all the time. Like Charles, for instance, they turn their own insecurities and rejection into I'm a lesbian. You know, it's a common defense mechanism. We'll get into that later, but it's...
Well, I like it that we're going to be talking about relationships and a serious matter. We're going to keep some light humor with it, right?
Right, absolutely.
And,
no, we're not going to get too serious.
You know, and I was driving here today, and I went by, I don't know where, maybe I was on Washington, and I also passed a place that said Daisies, and it said girls with the flashing light. It looks like something from the 70s. It was sort of trippy looking on Washington on 32nd Street. It made me want to go in there. It said Daisy. I thought she's wearing Daisy Dukes, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, so anyway, I passed on a little bit further down, and there was a little story, and it said, I do.
Yeah.
And it was like, it had wedding gowns in it and stuff. I thought, that's sort of cool. I do.
I do,
And
I
then
do.
it made me think, isn't there a song, one of those bands, the Swedish bands, I do.
I have
Something
not,
like that?
I have not heard that. I will never say those words probably in my lifetime.
I
but-
do.
You remember Excuse me. You remember Dominic? You remember
Yes.
we had Dominic on the show.
Hello, Dominic, if you're listening.
Hello, Dominic. And what a bright kid he was, and still is. Excuse me. But anyway, he's doing a documentary on relationships in nowadays, and kind of the impossibility of marriage in our generation. And so
He did mention that, yes.
yeah, he's got a lot of different aspects that he touches on, but he's listening right now because this kind of goes hand in hand with what he's doing with his documentary, and that's why I wanted him to kind of listen in, and he's going to be calling in later to
Fantastic.
give his opinions. But I'm gonna preface all this by telling a story really quick, and it's a very unfortunate and sad story, and I apologize for that, but it's kind of the reason I wanted to do this for the show.
Okay.
I had a birthday party for myself on Sunday, and I got a bunch of friends together, and we all went out and had some drinks, and it was my first day off in a long time. I've been working a new job, and they've been working me like a dog.
Double shifts, yes.
Yeah, pretty stressed out. So I was very much looking forward to this, and I have a lot of male friends, and quite a few of them showed up. And the drinking went on, and everyone had a good time. We went bar hopping, and eventually I decided I wanted to go to a titty bar where I knew some people, excuse my language, but a topless bar. It was a fun one. I knew a couple
I've
of
been
the
to
girls.
one
And,
once.
yeah.
Right.
And, just for good old-fashioned fun. And we tipped the girls, and we had a couple more drinks, and it was all pretty PG rated. But anywho, little did I know the entire time that kind of behind my back there was two male friends that were challenging each other a little bit and kind of trying to be territorial. And long story short, they got into a brawl in the parking lot. And I tried to break it up to, do some damage control and wound up being kind of thrown into the mix. And I actually got struck myself by one of my male friends who was very drunk and not in his right mind. And
Sucks.
it really does suck, actually. He went to jail, and I've kind of informed him that, we can't be friends. He was a very, very good friend. I have to stress that. He had never exhibited this type of behavior before, ever. He was very, very true friend to me. And so
Nor will he be given the opportunity to do such again.
he will never, and that's
Yeah.
very sad. I mean, that's kind of a given. I think when someone loses their cool like that, there's really no coming back from that. There's a lot you can come back from, but not from being struck, obviously.
I agree.
And drunk is not an excuse. However, I am just as upset with the other male friend because, he's made no secret about the fact that he's been attracted to me, but I've always let him know not to cross that line. And I guess my point to this is I know in my mind and in my gut as a woman that he instigated this, okay, because he was jealous of the other one and vice versa. And now he's trying to play the big hero. See, after this all went down, it was, oh my gosh, what a terrible guy this was. I can't believe he did this to you, and blah, blah, blah. And you should...
Here's my shoulder to cry
Right,
on,
you
yeah.
should get a restraining order. You should come live with me. I'm the big hero. I would never do that, blah, blah, blah. And really, the whole situation is very nauseating, and I found myself getting more and more angry. And I asked myself why, and I finally stopped and went, oh my God, deja vu. And I started realizing I've had these experiences continuously throughout my life. And it's come to the point where I have to make a decision as a woman. This is very frustrating, I think you can understand. But it's like I have to remove myself from these friendships in order to do what's quote-unquote best for everyone. And it's not because I can't handle it. It's because the other side can't handle it. And
Right.
I was just talking to Dominic about this, and he
Now,
says,
are you speaking of remove yourself from these relationships or friendships or situations where
I'm saying I don't
someone likes you but you don't really like them?
think, well, actually,
In
Cameron,
a boy girl kind of thing.
It's a bit more frustrating than that, actually, Cameron. What I'm trying to say, from my perspective, this is not for all women because it's different for every woman, but from my perspective, I heard something once, I'll say this. I heard something once from a movie that I think is very true, and I know it's kind of dramatic, but it says beautiful women are invisible. Okay? And what they meant by that, and this was a movie with, oh gosh, I keep forgetting his name, but it was called Eulogy. It was an excellent movie. And if you've seen it, I think Cody's seen it. Anyway, it says beautiful women are invisible, and they say that because they say that men, and I don't mean to single you out, okay, as far as men is concerned, but I think it has a lot to do with society as well. We're taught a certain way, we're raised a certain way, everything is very superficial, it's objectified. When men see a beautiful woman, they see the exterior and they don't get beyond that. They're so distracted by the exterior that they don't make that step beyond that. They don't build something a little bit more meaningful. They think they're trying, or they think they're getting there. And this is not all men, don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing, but I'm just saying. And so
Well, I know it's not me.
My problem has been thus far, no, you're good, Cameron.
I fell in love with you, but I fell in love with you because of your cooking.
Okay, well, see, there you go. and that wasn't a manly statement at all. But anyway, but yeah, no, my problem.
Hey, you know, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
That's to be debated, but there's different theories on that. But anyway, no, I'm just saying as a beautiful woman, it's very frustrating because I do appreciate human beings and people for who they are, and I try to be friends with males, but it seems that...
And you are beautiful.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And there's many other qualities to me. And
yes, I've already recognized those.
I have yet to have a male friend, except one, who is going to be calling in, who has been able to surpass that and actually be an unconditional friend throughout all my 30 years of living. It's very sad. So, this just struck home because Juan, I don't know if he's listening, was one of my best friends in the whole world, such a great guy, and he, got caught up in all the testosterone and the insecurity and lost his temper, and now he and I can't be friends anymore. And Ron, who got into the fight as well, same difference. So, I'm losing friends left and right, and my whole point to this is it even possible for women and men to have platonic relationships? Is it possible?
I think it's possible, and I'd also have to question why they were trying to be friends with you in the first place, is what initiated it, and were they really trying to be your friend, and you saw them as a friend, or were they really trying to be your friend, or were they really just trying to get down your pants?
But this is a reoccurring problem. That's what I'm saying. Right. How do you ever know the difference, and is there ever a difference? That's my issue.
I think there can be. But it's a fine line.
It's a very fine line.
Guys, we'll be back talking more with this topic of platonic relationships with Cameron and Melissa here on Happy Hour. We'll be back with you in a minute.
Listening to Wavelength Radio from Cool Wave Pictures.
Visit us on the web at www.coolwavepictures.com/radio.
Wavelength Radio presents Happy Hour with Cameron Cooper.
Come together right now over me.
Hey, you're back with Happy Hour with Cameron and Melissa. Thank you for being here. Guys, we got a relationship topic tonight about can a guy have a platonic relationship with a girl?
In today's society.
Yeah. And
Riggs, call in now. We want to talk to you. This is my best friend Riggs that's going to be calling in. He's been my best friend for 12 years. He's the only male that has not offended or disrespected me that I've been able to stay friends with, and I would like to get his perspective on this.
Yeah, we want to hear that.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly, because, it's a touchy subject, and it probably needs to be talked out. I'm sure everybody has had these experiences. I know I've had experiences where maybe I was attracted to a girl, we became friends or whatever that I attracted, and then they went their own way and didn't want to be with me and stuff like that. And it wasn't what I wanted, but I respected it, So it wasn't like I pushed myself on him. It wasn't like I didn't try a couple times.
Right.
But, all right. We have our caller Riggs online right now. Riggs, come online, buddy.
All right. Good to be here.
Hi, baby. How are ya?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. Riggs is my freaking angel, just so you know. This is like my best friend in the whole wide world. Such a good guy. So Riggs has been a witness to all of this. He gets to hear an earful every time I go through these scenarios. But we were talking earlier, and Riggs, will you tell him what we were talking about? I mean, we were just talking about, treasuring human beings for what they are, which is human beings, and not sacrificing the friendship for any kind of impulses or urges or selfish ends.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It seems to me that there's too much focus on the surface in everything that we do, and in this society, it's very easy to see in any type of media, advertising, or whatever that is the main focus.
Yeah, it's like I'm an object, Riggs. I mean, we've been through this a million frickin' times, and I know you're not blind. You tell me that I'm beautiful all the time, but at the same token, I mean, I'm not trying to brag on myself here, but you know what a good person I am, and that's why we're friends. That's the things that we share, and I would like to think that holds more value than you secretly thinking in the back of your mind while your girlfriend's sitting behind you that you're going to sleep with me someday.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems to me that it would be asinine for me to be in a relationship if that was, the end goal or desire.
Now, Riggs, let me ask you. Now, you guys have known each other for like 12 years, is that right?
That's right.
And
yeah,
now,
it's been a while.
You guys have probably known each other and been friends while maybe you were either married or had a girlfriend and she had a boyfriend, and so there was other people in your lives, but you guys remained friends, and that didn't conflict with either one of your relationships with the other persons.
No, absolutely not. It's never been an issue.
No, as a matter of fact, I should say that Riggs and I met through, he was best friends with a gentleman that I was dating, and that gentleman treated me wrong and did me wrong, and Riggs actually remained friends with me above and beyond when that relationship ended, and I think that's a true human being right there. I mean, that you just can't beat that, so...
No, that's fantastic. I know I have a really good platonic relationship with a good friend for many years now. And she's beautiful, and she's exotic, and she's sexy, and she's just even a bigger, better person than all that.
Right.
As far as her cooking, her spirituality, her kindness of heart, and everything like that, just like yourself.
Right.
And I know we haven't known each other like for years, like I have known my friend. But I've seen her go through other relationships, and she's seen me go through relationships and heartbreaks and things. And we've been there for each other, and always will be.
Yeah.
She's just like family.
Well, and I know, a lot of men, they've got their objectives, and maybe they think this is kind of sappy, but, Riggs can appreciate this. He understands what I'm saying. We've shared so much more than anything you could get in the bedroom. I mean, Riggs and I have been able to be there for each other through things where we didn't know what we would have done without each other, and that would have been completely destroyed by taking it to that superficial level, or making that the priority. Riggs, help me out here.
Oh, absolutely.
Come on, Angel.
There are times when you're just that low, and you need someone there, and relationships will come and go until you find that one that's going to last you. But friendships, that's what you got to look out for, because it's not easy to find those kind of people in the world.
Yeah, and you have to value that
agree,
person.
Yeah.
You have to
Very
value
true,
that
Rick,
person,
yeah.
and if she happens to be in a beautiful shell, or what society would consider an ugly shell, or whatever, I mean, Riggs, don't kill me right now, but Riggs is this big Viking-looking guy. I mean, he's great. He's kind of intimidating and scary-looking when you first come on him, but he's the biggest freaking teddy bear. And can you even imagine what would have happened if I would have ran the other direction when I saw him, or if he would have just jumped on me when he saw me? We wouldn't have this beautiful friendship that we have 12 years later.
That's fantastic. Now, Riggs, you sound pretty scary, she tells me. Are you a biker?
Well, I guess I have that effect. I'm a large man. That's one way of putting it, mildly.
He's very scary when he wants to be. He's not a biker, though. He's a big teddy bear.
Well, I got to tell you, some of the nicest, sweetest people I've ever met have that at first approach kind of scariness.
Yeah.
Like a good friend of Charles Peterson's, who's been in a lot of movies, and he's been a serial killer in a movie, and his name is Steve Furedy. Fantastic guy, but he just looks scary. You know.
Riggs he's intimidating in his own right, but he's nothing but a big. And Riggs, you have more female friends than me. I know this. You have like 3 or 4 good female friends. This is who you gravitate towards besides our friend Tim. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. I have quite a few women that are really close to me, and we're we know where we stand. We completely understand what our relationship is and isn't, and it's not going to change, and we're fine with that. That's what we are.
And what do you think that is? I mean, is that a combination of? You tell me. I mean, what do you think is the hope for men and women having platonic relationships, if it's possible at all? I mean, I know I can say it off the top of my head, but I want to hear you say it. I mean, things like what? Respect, knowing the person.
Well, absolutely. Respect, knowing a person, knowing oneself. I think one of the biggest issues is definitely insecurities and allowing those to get the better of you. If you don't know yourself and you don't know what you're capable of, and you can't accept that someone is, this is what they feel and this is what's going on, then, you're just going to try and impose your feelings onto it regardless of how the situation is, and it's a sad situation if you can't deal with that.
Yeah, it's like friendship holds no value, it seems. With men, it's like if you don't want to immediately sleep with them or you don't want to take it to the next level, it's they almost feel offended or rejected, and they've already completely bypassed the fact that you've chosen to be friends with them and still share a part of yourself. That doesn't mean anything. That's really sad.
It is sad because I think that everybody has a whole part of themselves, not just the exterior.
Right.
They have their brain, they have their personalities, they have their little
passions and quirks
and even the dumb stuff, and the dorky stuff and the funny stuff and everything that makes a person whole, all that.
That's the good stuff.
It's all that. It's not just an exterior. And I think a lot of people just they get tunnel visioned, and I know men are probably more visual than women, I hear, and so maybe that's part of it. But I think your question was, can you have a platonic relationship with another male? And I think certainly you can. But maybe you're going to have to put up a few more safeguards along the way because something wasn't working for you. So you put up some more roadblocks or something. You're learning. We're talking about it. But you need to do a little bit more screening and sorting out things about when you meet somebody. Try to read them a little bit better or look for some telltale signs or something because something wasn't working for you. And I don't want to see you get hurt anymore. And I don't want other people to get hurt along the way either because other people get hurt as well. Whether they realize they're trying to or not. They hurt themselves because they're coming at you with the wrong intentions, and that was wrong in the first place. So that's something they need to look at within themselves.
And ultimately, I think Riggs needs a break because, he gets so riled up when he hears about this stuff. He can't go around killing everybody, right, Riggs?
Absolutely. There's just not enough time in the day.
And Riggs, I'm glad you're there, brother, for her. Everybody needs a good archangel on their shoulder and to sort of look over them and protect them. And it sounds like you've done a fantastic job of that. And that's, God bless you, brother, for that, because she's a sweet girl, and she's beautiful in every single way, not just the exterior.
Aww.
And she is a fabulous cook. I got to tell you, you've probably had some of that cooking, I bet. And I've only had it once. She was a real sweetheart. She brought some food over, and she made everything, and it was just like a 5-course dinner, man. It was fantastic.
Riggs, don't get jealous now. I'll cook for you when I come. He's like salivating right now, going,
Oh no!
"You guys you got cooked for? That's not okay." Riggs, I love you.
Fine. I mean, you're cooking next time I see you, but hey.
Yeah, I would cook anything for you. I love you very much, and we're gonna let you go because we're gonna have Dominic call in now. But I love you, Riggs.
Love you too, and everyone have a good time, be safe, and all that good stuff. Thanks for having
Absolutely.
me.
Riggs, thanks for being on Happy Hour tonight with Cameron and Melissa, and hope to talk to you again soon.
See you.
Bye.
Bye now.
Dominic, we'd love to hear from you too, because Dominic wants to, one of the basis of his documentary was, the failure of marriage in our generation. And I think a big part of that, he'll agree with me, is, we have the whole theory of friends first, right? And there has to be a foundation in a marriage. And so I got to thinking, and I thought, well, if platonic friendships, if true unconditional friendships are becoming nearly impossible between men and women, then what does that mean for marriage?
Well, I don't know. I think there's just such an in-depth, complex ingredients of making everything work, whether it's a friendship or a marriage. It's very complicated, actually, but at the same time, I think it can be very simplified if you stick to some basics. And hopefully we can talk about these basics with Dominic, and we can discover them if we don't already acknowledge them and know them right now. Guys, don't overthink things, but be true to yourself and be true to the person. And ask the right questions and communicate. If you don't have good dialogue and you're not honest in the dialogue, then I don't care if it's a friendship or a relationship. It's not going to go anywhere where it should be going. So that's the first key ingredient that you need to be simplified there. And Dominic, if you can call in, we want to get your viewpoints on this. Dominic was on our show here a few weeks ago. He's actually going to be continuing his documentary and completing that. And I think actually when he completes the documentary, he will be coming back, and we're going to have him on the show again to talk about that. And is Dominic with us yet?
Not yet, but he better hurry up because we're almost done here. Dominic, you said you wanted to put some words in here. He's very passionate about this subject. And,
yes, he
he's
is.
Such a great
he's
kid.
been spending, I guess it's been, I think, maybe almost a year in the making of this documentary that he's working on.
Yeah.
And I don't know how close to completion he is on this project.
He said he's pretty close, actually. I talked to him last week, and he's going to do a few more interviews. But such a great subject, such a great kid. He did a couple interviews with me and my friend Aminda, and, just talking about how sad it is that, marriage is almost obsolete now. But thank you, Charles. I appreciate that.
Well, while we're waiting for Dominic, I just wanted to mention that song that we played on our break was Nothing's Impossible by Mr. Solomon Burke. That was in remembrance of him. That was from his last album that he recorded, Nothing Impossible. And if you remember, he said that on the show with me, Nothing's Impossible. And it's a fantastic song, a fantastic message. And that man himself was, I think, very intuitive to relationships. And
it's very ironic that we were playing the Nothing's Impossible song when we're talking about the impossibility of platonic.
I know.
But that adds a little bit of positivity to a little bit of hope to the whole scenario.
And Solomon had done so many beautiful, passionate love songs and heartfelt songs. And we're not going to have time for Dominic tonight, but we will have Dominic back on the show, though, when he wraps up his documentary he's working on. Sorry he couldn't call in tonight to talk on this subject. Melissa, do you have some more comments before we wrap up here and get ready for the Mackenzie show?
No, not necessarily. I just, the whole situation makes me a little sad, and I just hope that human beings can start being human beings and put their selfish ends out of the way and just treat each other like they're supposed to be treated, man and woman.
I hope so, too. Thank you for being here with Happy Hour with Cameron and Melissa. Coming up next is The Mackenzie Show, hosted by Cody Everett. Brian McKenzie?
Yeah. Brian McKenzie.
Brian McKenzie will be hosting. Brian McKenzie will be hosting the show coming up.
Somebody's
and also
toasted.
stay tuned for the round table with Brian McKenzie, Charles Pearson, Cameron Cooper, and Cody Everett, and Melissa.
You guys stop fucking with him, okay? You guys.
You're listening to Happy Hour with Cameron and Melissa. We'll be back with you with the McKenzie Show in just a minute.
You're listening to Wavelength Radio. from Cool Wave Pictures.